Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of Viking Spin here. I'm your host, Jason, and we're going to do um, a mock off-season using Fanspeak's Ultimate GM tool. So we're going to do the free agency and the draft. So let's get right to it. If you're unfamiliar with this, you go to fanspeak.com, and they have both the Ultimate GM and the on the clock. That's just strictly for the draft. But the Ultimate GM, you can do the off season with free agency, roster cuts and restructures, plus the draft. So that's what we're going to do. The whole ball of wax here for the Vikings. So let's go in, pick our team. And it comes up with the current cap situation here. It's a little off. I'd say, the simulator is not perfect, but let's make it as realistic as we can here. So it says -2 million, -2.5 million in cap space. That's not accurate, but let's get rid of the future contract guys that are not going to be counting towards the cap anyways. Once the draft picks replace them on the roster, because then it's only the top 51 that count towards the cap anyway. So let's just go through and get rid of guys here that are going to not make the team. They're probably going to just wind up on the practice squad or not with the team at all. So there's Aruna, Thomas. I think these are practice squad potential guys. Fadi here, I'm going to keep him because I think he might actually make the 53. But like Routini, we'll get rid of him. Edison's got a shot to make the 53. Craig James, let's get rid of him. Zilstra, I think, will make the 53. Matafa will not. I think Diva will make it. Myrick will not. Let's get on here. We'll keep Mike Boone. And let's see, I think we may not keep Matt Wiley, so let's get him off of there. And let's see who else here. I don't think, actually, when I think it's all said and done, Bauer's not going to make the cut. So I'm going to get rid of him. And I'm going to make a conscious effort to replace Brothers in the draft because the Vikings didn't really have any confidence in him. When Eric Kendricks got hurt last year, they actually played Eric Wilson, who was an outside linebacker, playing out of position. And Brothers is actually in the last year of his contract this year. So why not get somebody that the team might actually have confidence in as a middle linebacker? So let's do away with him there. And let's go up here. They have us tendering Rashad Hill. I'm not going to do that. Anthony Harris, that's actually the incorrect cap hit for the second round tender, but it's close enough, so I'm going to leave it where it is. I'm going to cut Treadwell. Sandejo's gone. Mike Reynolds is gone. It doesn't have the restructure option for Rudy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut him now, but I'm going to re-sign him at a cheaper contract. And we're going to do the restructures here. We're going to restructure Lindahl. We're going to restructure Everson. Riley Reef is probably not going to restructure because he has a lot of leverage, 6.6 in dead money. So we're going to leave it alone. Just going to have to rock and roll with Riley Reef at that contract. And now we're at 37 in the positive. So we got plenty of money here to go in for re-signings and free agency. So let's rock and roll. Okay, and then it shows you some of the other moves that were done by other teams, some of the cuts and restructures by the other teams. We'll be able to see some of these guys that got cut in the free agent market. And now it's going to take us to where we can re-sign players. So let's go in here. And let me take care of Rudy first because I didn't really mean to cut him. I just had to do that to outsmart the game here. So I would have restructured Rudy for like $5 million a year. So, okay. All right, we'll give you some guaranteed money. Okay, accept it. All right, so Rudy's here for the next 2 years at a cheaper deal. Let's see, let's bring back Latavius. I like Latavius. $3 million. On 1 year deal. Accepted. Let's bring back Aldrich. See, Nick Easton, he should be pretty much close to the veterans minimum since he's landed on IR the last 2 seasons. He's a lot to prove. Going off that neck injury, but you know, it's nice to have the depth. So let's see if he'll come back basically to the minimum. Yep. All right. So let's see what else we've got here. Dan Bailey, sure. I think maybe with a new holder, he'll be fine. Another year removed from that injury, should be good to go. All right, we got Bailey. And let's see who's left here. Okay, these are the guys I got rid of. I'm not gonna do I like. Oh, okay, Marcus Sherrills. Back in the building. Alright. And now we're sitting at 24 million in cap space. So I'm gonna let's see, let's go through here. I'm gonna let the rest of these guys walk. I am not happy with the run defense, so I'm not bringing back Sheldon. And Tom Johnson, we'll see what happens in the rest of free agency, but I'm not in a hurry to re-sign him right now. Anthony Barr is very unlikely that he's going to return to the team. He's looking for 3-4 outside linebacker money. And quite frankly, I would rather get a more traditional 4-3 outside linebacker to play in this defense anyway. So, that plus I need to spend money on the offense and free agency too. So we're going to let him walk, and maybe we'll get a couple comp picks, 3rd round comp picks for these guys next year, depending on what we do in free agency here. So let's at least give ourselves that opportunity, and let's rock and roll here with 24 million to spend. Okay, and that shows you who was re-signed by the other teams. Hopefully not some of our targets, but we'll see. Okay. So let's see who's out there. Let's take a look at all the offensive line positions. Okay. Dewan James might interest me a little bit, but I'd rather not play musical chairs with the offensive line too much if I don't have to. Because James, he'd be a right tackle. You'd have to move O'Neal to left and Reef to guard. Not crazy about that. Let's see here. The guards, Saffold and Foster would probably be the only ones that interest me here. Let's see, center. Okay, Matt Paradis. Let's try to be realistic here. He's going to be the best scheme fit. We got Gary Kubiak and Rick Dennison on staff, and Matt Paradis is a perfect fit in their scheme. He's got history with them. The Broncos are going through coaching changes. I really think that that's going to be the Vikings' #1 target in free agency. So let's go ahead offer. All right, let's start here. I'm going to go 7 million, 4 years, 8% guarantee. And I also want to solve the wide receiver 3 problem here in free agency with preferably a veteran player. So let's take a look at what we got here. I think Golden Tate's going to be really expensive. Time on credit is an option. Let's see if they got Smokey Brown in here. Or Deshaun Jackson, did he get cut? Let's take a look. Nope, looks like Deshaun didn't make it to free agency in this simulation. I think in real life he will, and that'll be interesting to see if the Vikings bring him in. But let's go with a similar player, a speed demon, John Smokey Brown. Played with the Ravens last year, was a former Arizona Cardinal for years. He's, I believe, 28 or 29 years old. I try to bring him in on a 2-year deal to be the WR3. Let's go with a similar contract to what he had last year. I think he had 5 or 6 million. So we put 6 million, 2 years. Okay. So let's start with that. And that'll be our first day. Okay, so Paratus accepted the offer. Brown declined. And let's move on to day 2. That's really good getting Paratus in here. That puts less pressure on us in the draft. So we now, it's more likely that we're only looking for one offensive lineman starter now in the draft. The defensive line, I want to make sure that we get a run stuffer in here. Let's go with Demata Pico. He played for Mike Zimmer before. He is a nose tackle and can also play some 3-tech too. So he can either relieve Linval Joseph at times, or you can also put him at 3-tech on early downs to stop the run, or in short yardage and goal line situations too. So let's get big Pico. Let's offer him a contract. $3 million, 1 year. Pretty much guarantee that he'll be on the roster. And let's see if we sweeten the deal here a little bit for Brown. And let's try to put a claim in here on Hunter. All right, great opinion. You got older experience, Miley. See what we do here with you. Let's see if he'll sign for a year. Yeah, I'll give you the job, buddy. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so Pico accepted for the $3 million, and Brown and Pinion declined. So let's try again. All right, Brown, you're testing my patience here. I might start looking elsewhere if you keep turning me off here. All right, let's try 7 million. This is as high as I'm going on Brown. 3 years. Try it again. And I'm gonna let the punter sweat it out a little bit. All right, John Brown took my offer, my $7 million a year for a 3-year contract. So now I got my speed receiver to take the pressure off of Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. Amen. We need that so badly. So we got our guy. And now I'm just looking to get a punter. So let's see, we got 10.9 million left. Shouldn't be too hard. All right, I'll sweeten it a little bit for you. Let's go 1.5 million. And here's 90%. Okay, I decline my offer. Okay, buddy. I think I'm going to turn to Shane Leckler here, the veteran. Let's see if we can get him on board. All right, Shane. 1.5 million. Yeah, come on, it's a puncher here. All right, Shane Leckler accepted my offer. All right, we are ready to rock and roll here and go into the draft. We have we got a D tackle to stop the run. Probably still going to go for a 3-tech, a more dynamic 3-tech in the draft. That's more of a pass rusher. But we got a run plugger. We got a wide receiver 3 to take the top off the defense and help out get the double teams off of Diggs and Thielen. And we got Paratus, a starter on the offensive line, so we could move Elfline to guard, have him battle it out with Nick Easton. And now I got 3 guys on the roster that can play center if need be. So that's pretty valuable. So I'm really just looking to fill that right guard spot. If we're going to keep the tackles the way they are. So let's go ahead and let's rock and roll. For the draft, all right, 7 rounds. Okay, Fanspeak Steve, we're going to go with your big board. That sounds fine to me. And okay, let the computer go random. Other teams are going to have different big boards than I will have. And go classic so it doesn't make it too ridiculous. All right, let's draft. Okay, so as trades come in, I'm going to look at the trade value chart just so I can get an idea here of what's realistic. So these I'm going to decline. Let's just see how the board falls first before we think about making any trade offers or taking. John Williams is off the board. Kevin White's off the board. Christian Wilkins got picked. Fant picked. All right. So let's take a look. Yeah. Who's left? Okay. So if we're looking at the offensive line, adjust, Ford, Taylor, Little, all still on the board here if I want to go tackle. I think Ford and Taylor could also play guard. So there are definitely possibilities there. I got over here, I like Dieter, Lindstrom, and I'm a big Connor McGovern fan too. So there's possibilities there. I can probably get these guys later. And they got Dalton Risner as a center. Or Reisner as a center, Garrett Bradbury. All right, so the offensive line options are still plentiful here. If I wanted to trade down in round 1, I could still get them. Let's see who's left for tight ends. Still got the top 2 tight ends are available if I want to go that route. And defensive line, we have plenty of options left here. Tillery, Simmons, Jones, Lawrence, Willis. I think Willis is my target here, but I know I can get him outside the first round. And linebacker, we still got Devin Bush and Mac Wilson available. Jermaine Pratt is also somebody like second or third round, so he's an option there. What I want to try to do is get an additional second round pick. I want to have first, 2 seconds, and a third. I think I can get 4 players that can make a major impact there if I do that. So there's enough options left for me to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and propose that. With the Chargers, I'm going to send them first and fourth. This is pretty much equal value here on the trade value chart. This is the Draft Tech, has the classic Jimmy Johnson valuation model of the NFL trade value chart, and has the order of picks for the 2019 draft. So that's what I'm using to make my trades equal here. So I'm going to trade with the Chargers, and I'm going to send them 128 and 228 propose. Trade accepted. Okay, here we go. So we're down to pick 28, and we picked up an additional second round pick. Okay, now we're going to trade out of the first round, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. Okay, so Greg Little is there. So the interior, the 2 tackles, the complete interior got taken. So now I'm looking at Reisner is available interior, Bradbury is available interior. Let's see, we've still got Chris Lindstrom, Michael Dieter, and Connor McGovern that I like. All right, so let's take a look there. And I think I'm not going to let Herb Smith get away, so we're going to go ahead and take him here at 28. Let's move on to the second round. Okay. So we took Irv Smith there, and he gives us the tight end that we want to be able to stretch the field vertically, and is also a heck of a better run blocker than Kyle Rudolph. So we can put Irv Smith and David Morgan on the field at the same time and have 2 tight ends that can run block at the same time. So that's going to really help out the Vikings running game quite a bit, I think. So now let's go here into the second round. So we got pick 18 and pick 28 in second. So let's rock and roll and see what happens. All right. So here's who's left here. Let's take a look at interior options. We still got Lindstrom and McGovern on the board. Dieter was picked. Reisner and Bradbury are still there. And we've got Mac Wilson still available at linebacker, who I really like. Jermaine Pratt is also still there. Terrell Hanks is there. He's another guy who I think would be capable. And so this is quite the dilemma here for me. Now we take a look at defensive linemen. Now those guys are really starting to go. Gerald Willis, I don't think he'll be around if I wait any longer. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pick there. So now I got my nasty Pats right 3 tech. And so our next pick is still in the second round. Not going to trade out of there. So we're going to decline offers. And we're going to go ahead and look at Reisner still on the board. Now, I don't think that that's realistic. I think that they put him here as a center, and that's kind of what's allowing him to fall this far. So, I don't know how realistic that is. Of course, I'd probably pick him if that was the case. Um, but we're going to try to make this more like reality. So I think Connor McGovern uh, could possibly be around there, or it could be, let's see, Mac Wilson here, or you take Pratt. Will Pratt be around in the third? What a dilemma. Okay. So, all right. All right. So I don't think the Vikings fan base would be too happy if we waited past the second round to pick an offensive lineman. Um, so I'm going to pick Connor McGovern here. I actually like him better than Chris Lindstrom because he's bigger. He's still a fit for his zone scheme, but because he's really athletic and can move, get to the second level. But he's about 320, 6'5", 320 or 325. I want someone that's not going to get blown back against the king picks. So I'm going to pick Connor McGovern. He ain't going to get bull rushed. So he's the pick there. All right, let's go to round 3 and see who we can land. Okay, that's way too much to give up. They're going to move up a few spots. I think I'm going to do that. Let's just roll with the 17. Pick of the third round. Okay, they got Reisner going at a third round pick 6. There's no way that happens. But it's just a simulation game. Don't take it too seriously. All right. I need a linebacker. And there's my guy, Jermaine Pratt. He could go second round. He could go third round. If he's there in this situation, he's absolutely the pick. And I'm taking him. And so I think I really achieved what I wanted to do here with the first 4 picks with Herb Smith and Gerald Lewis. These guys are going to platoon into the lineup and make a big impact. They're going to play a lot. Connor McGovern is going to start at right guard, and Jermaine Pratt is going to be the replacement for Anthony Barr at outside linebacker. Feeling really good about the first 4 picks here. So 4 picks in the first 2 days. That's pretty darn good. So now we've got 4 day 3 picks left. So we're going to be sitting out here the 4th and 5th round, and we've got 2 6th rounders and 2 7th rounders. See if we can get some depth guys, some potential guys maybe for the practice squad as well. And we'll see how the rest of that shakes out. So, let's take a look at how the draft is going so far. For the teams, Titus Howard, he's a guy I like. 4th rounder with Bears. That offensive tackle. There's Elijah Holyfield, got taken late 4th. Good running back. But I re-signed the Tay Train, so I don't need him. All right. It's the 5th round. We're sitting this one out too. Tight end Zach Gentry. What is he, like 6'8"? He just went. Caleb Wilson, Stanley Morgan. These are some solid guys. Anthony Ratliff Williams. He's a jack of all trades type of receiver. He just went in the 5th. Terry McLaurin. Marcus Christmas. Justin Lane. Pretty solid cornerback. Prospect there. All right, now we're finally in the 6th round, and let's see what we can get here for the bottom end of the roster. Now, if you remember from before, we cut Kentrell Brothers, so we're probably going to be looking for a middle linebacker to come in and provide some depth to that linebacker core. So let's go ahead and take. I like Joe Giles Harris. I don't know if he'll make it to the 6, but if he did, why the hell not? So we got him. Got a Duke. I think he could play middle or outside. Pretty solid pick there for day 3. All right, we're on the clock again here. Let's take a look at the safeties. I like Chris Johnson out of North Alabama. Small school guy, 6'3", 200 pounds, probably going to run 4.4. Just the knock on him is he didn't see elite competition at North Alabama, but we're going to keep a flyer on him. In the 6th. All right, now we got 2 7th-round picks. These are both comp picks that we picked up from the free agents that signed elsewhere last year. Let's see who left here. Might want to take a quarterback here for the practice squad, maybe some little competition to push Kyle Sloter in the preseason. So let's take a look at what we got there. Who's left your quarterbacks? I'll bring in. Let's take Clayton Thorson. I mean, his name is Thorson. Thor, Vikings. It just seems destined. Let's do it. We're gonna rock and roll, Clayton Thorson. All right, and we've got Mr. Irrelevant. We have the last pick of the draft. All right, you know what, Damian Prince? I don't think you're irrelevant. I think you're probably good enough for our practice squad. Big dude from Maryland. Yep. Guard. Let's do it. All right. Now we're going to get a recap of what we did. Let's take a look at our draft here first. So we got Irv Smith, Gerald Willis, Connor McGovern, and Jermaine Pratt. In the first 2 days of the draft, I'd say that's a pretty good haul there. These guys should come in here and make an immediate impact. Giles Harris going to replace Kentrell Brothers. Chris Johnson could be the 4th safety. He might have a chance to make the roster behind Smith, Harris, and Curse. Clayton Thorson in there to be that quarterback body for the preseason. And Damian Prince is a developmental guard. They can probably make the practice squad. And the players that we signed, we were able to bring back Rudy on a lesser cap hit. We brought back Latavius Aldrich. We got Easton. Bailey came back. Shields came back. We went out in free agency and we got Matt Paratus, Kiko, John Brown, and Shane Butler. So I think we did a pretty good job here in this off-season mock. Let me know thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Viking Spin, also on Facebook, and look for my articles. Put them out a lot on the Viking Spin site, and also on purplePSD.com. Also come out on Facebook, Twitter, and at purplePSD.com. Thanks so much for joining. Take care.